that's so sweet, Shantae. In Jesus' name. Who's starting? First time ever I saw your face, I thought the sun rose in your eyes. And the moon and the stars were the gifts you gave to the dawn and the endless sky. First time ever I kissed your mouth, I felt the earth move in my like the trembling heart of a captive bird that was there at my command, my love. Mr. Victor. First time ever I lay with you, I felt your heart so close to mine. when you talk to me, when you're moaning, sitting low. Yeah. When you're touching me, and my feelings start to show. Ooh, that's the time I feel like making love to you. Ooh, that's the time I feel like making dreams come true. Oh, babe, Chris Baptiste. Restaurant, holding hands by candlelight. Come on, y'all. While you're touching me, wanting you with all my might. Ooh, that's the time I feel like making love to you. Now, I know by now you all can tell that we're doing this tribute to the late, great Roberta Flack. And Miss Flack had some amazing songs. I'm sure you know this one as well. I hope you enjoy it. Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. FTC. I heard he sang a good song. I heard he had a style. And so I came to see him, to listen for a while. And there he was, this young boy, a stranger to my eyes, strumming my pain. That boy was singing my life, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song. Y'all, we're gonna take a short break and we'll be right back. Don't you go nowhere. We have a great guest. Miss Veronica Nealy's in the house. Woo, come on, with his song. Okay. Yes, hello, and welcome back to the Cassandra Show. I hope you all enjoyed that tribute to Roberta Flack. And I want you to take a moment and think about this. Imagine living a life where your innocence was stolen before you even knew how to protect it. Where the pain you carried wasn't visible to the world, but it shaped everything that you became. Our next guest is not just a survivor. Y'all, she is a warrior. She turned trauma into truth and silence into strength. Tonight, she's here to speak on the abuse that tried to break her and the power it took to reclaim her life. This isn't just a conversation. This is healing in motion. Y'all, please help me welcome a fighter, a survivor, and a voice for the voiceless, Miss Veronica Nealy-Morris. Hey, beautiful, blessed. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me. Please have a seat. Thank you so much for joining us. I must take a moment and just say, you look fabulous. You look so beautiful. Indeed, indeed, it's an honor. So if you don't mind, I'd love for you to take us back. Take us back to that time and tell us what kind of abuse did you have to endure?
Well, starting at the age of 5, I vividly remember walking down the hall and my father, who was a
Give me 1 second. They say they cannot hear you, and we want everyone to hear you. So it started at age 5 while they come out and fix your microphone. Are you somewhere around, Shantae? He's going to be behind you. Don't be scared. And it's just so unfortunate. Being a mother and even hearing you start off telling your story is breaking my heart. When you said age 5, I'm so sorry. So if you would please continue.
Absolutely. At the age of 5, I remember my father touching me. You don't know what's going on, but you know there's something wrong.
Right.
I think we're born with that instinct. And it went on for about 2 or 3 times a week, up until the age of 14 when I started fighting back. And back then, you didn't know how to tell anyone what was going on because you didn't have the verbiage for it. You just knew something was wrong.
Yes. If you would please. Thank you. So you didn't know what was going on. You didn't know how to explain it, but you knew that it didn't feel right. It was wrong. And it was your father.
It was my biological
Your biological father. I'm so sorry. So if you would hold the mic a little closer.
Absolutely.
And tell us what was a specific moment that still haunts you today the most.
I wouldn't use the term hunt.
Okay, good.
Because I have the necessary skill set, tools, emotional intelligence to recognize when these triggers occur. So I wouldn't say that I struggle anymore. I still have these memories, but these memories are not associated with the pain that it was once upon a time associated with. I don't want to ever forget.
So can you share with us some of those memories that you don't want to forget?
I don't want to forget the whole process because it has made me who I am today. It gives me the tool and the zeal and the will to help other people, what I call cross the bridge. Because as you know, we all have a story.
Yes, we do.
So I remember the smell. I remember where we were. I remember everything. You don't forget these things.
Oh my goodness.
The key is remembering it so that you can still have that passion and zeal to help someone else. I wouldn't change my story for anything in the world.
I'm so glad to hear that. It's definitely helping someone. It resonates with so many people. Can you tell us, what did you have to experience? What did you go through? What did you feel like you were trapped in during that time with your father?
Absolutely. You don't know how to feel, you just kind of exist. But as I begin to grow up into, I'm 58 now, soon to be 59.
Look amazing.
But at the age of around 33, I started doing the necessary work. But you feel useless, you feel damaged, you feel insecure. I had so much anxiety that it pretty much took a toll on my life up until the age of 33. You go through all kinds of gamuts.
Wow.
You're completely destroyed emotionally.
So was there ever a moment, Veronica, where you felt completely numb or disconnected from yourself? Like, what did that version of you look like if you felt that way?
Well, I felt like that most of my life.
Wow,
It wasn't
disconnected.
until I got sick and tired of being sick and tired that I started doing the necessary work, because I grew up in the church and the abuse happened in the church. So when you're hearing these things every day, it's like, oh no, that's impossible. It is possible. You felt like a dead man walking. I just
Oh my gosh.
existed
At 5.
from 5 to 14.
Are you serious? And no one could tell your mom, cousin, aunt, nobody?
That was a different era. Now, today, you have it on social media, you have it on television. We all grew up Pentecostal. You didn't even think
Yes.
that way.
No.
And children at that time was to be seen and not heard.
Correct.
And you didn't
And
talk
was
back
told
to
that.
parents.
Correct.
Absolutely. So who were you going to tell? And if you were going to tell someone, what were you going to say? What was the verbiage? We didn't have like Luke Campbell from Miami who's talking about all these different things. I didn't know the verbiage. We was Christian. We didn't use. I didn't know what sex was. I didn't know what
Correct.
incest was.
When I
Incest
tell you-
was.
I will tell you, till the day my mom died, and we grew up Pentecostal too, she would spell the word sex. She would never say it. So I totally understand what you're saying right now. You know, sometimes the hardest part isn't the abuse itself, but what comes after. How did it affect how you saw yourself? Did you ever feel like you weren't worthy of love or a safe place?
My entire life, I felt that
Your
way.
whole
I
life.
looked like I'm kind of cute now.
You
but I
are
looked
very
fabulous
beautiful.
on the outside, but on the inside, I was so insecure. It was a dead man walking. I think the hardest part for me, even today, is not the abuse itself, is the re-victimization, in the sense of family members and people in the neighborhood still want to keep it silent. I've lost so many relationships, and I may start crying, but it's not because I'm sad. It's just the grace of God.
Yes.
I lost so many relationships because I told my story, and I only told 1% of it.
Wow.
And I didn't tell my story to point fingers. I told my story because that was my deliverance. It's so much bigger than what I am. I think that's the hardest part, the re-victimization.
Yes. And you know, it's so crazy because the test and the hard test that you went through is such a testimony right now for so many people. And you ask yourself, have you ever asked yourself, why me, God?
Not necessarily, because I didn't know how to form those questions. I thought that was just my lot in life. But the good thing about it, God is so sovereign. There's a small, still voice that says, Veronica, you're going to make it through.
Yes.
And I listened to that voice, and I began to do the necessary hard work to go beyond being a survivor, because
Yes.
survivor to me is just being on life support, just getting by, barely making it.
So what word would you use to describe?
An overcomer.
Yes,
According
I
to the
was
word of
waiting on
God, we
that.
are overcomers.
You are an overcomer.
That way we're able to live life out loud.
Yes, like you're doing today.
Absolutely.
So what was one of the hardest, most unbearable moments in your healing journey? Something that you don't talk about often, but it really changed you.
I would say me trying to protect people that didn't protect me.
Ooh.
Because even that little girl stayed in me for a long, long time. I talked to her sometimes and I said, listen, girl, you're dead. You're a full-grown woman. But I think the hardest part is not that people didn't believe me. It's just they didn't want to hear the story. But I understand now that it's difficult, but we have to face these elephants in the room.
Yes, we must.
In order to get rid of them, and we're still not facing it. And the thing about it is, this is not a first-generational thing. Certain things I won't tell because I'm still afraid to say certain things because it may
Wow.
destroy the few relationships that I have.
Wow. And that's so difficult because for someone that went through what you have endured, you would think people would just rally around you and say, I'm so sorry that happened to you. You would think whether it's family, friends, whatever, that they would be supportive because it could have been them. It could have been anybody.
Well, let's just say I wasn't alone, but I only tell my story.
So tell us, Veronica, what would you say to the younger you? You said you used to tell her, girl, you dead, you whatever. Sitting here today, tell us, what would you say to little Veronica?
I'll let her know that, like they say, you is good, you is important,
Yes.
you are somebody, and you just stay the course and listen to that small voice that tell you that you are great. Follow that voice. lean into who you are, because that never changed.
Correct.
Life happens, but the plan that God had for Veronica was still the same plan. He didn't have to rewrite it. He just had to reintroduce myself to me.
Wow.
And reintroduce himself to me. That's what that book is all about, My Dreams Revealed.
That is so powerful. And your book, My Dreams Revealed, tell us a little bit about your book.
That's one of my favorites. I wrote that book about 40 years ago, and I pulled it off the shelf because I didn't know what genre to put it in. Through the process of the sovereignty of God, he speaks in so many ways. That book is my metaphysical, supernatural, neuroplasticity, where God allowed me to sleep for 20 years, dream the same dream.
Come on now.
Over and over again for every night the same dream. And all I wanted to go to sleep. I would take NyQuil, maybe a bottle of NyQuil every night just to go to sleep so I could, because I was alive when I was asleep.
Yes.
God began to reintroduce himself to me and reintroduce myself to myself. He didn't change the plan because the plan that he had for me was good and not evil to bring me to the end.
Yes.
To a perfect end.
Just had to endure.
Yes, I had to endure.
Ooh, the race is not given to the
Wow.
swift or the strong, but the one who holds out.
Absolutely.
And endures to the end. Veronica, thank you so much for sharing your story. It has definitely, I'm sure, resonated with our viewers, and I pray that you have continued peace and success in your life. Y'all, please go and check out her book, and we will be back here tomorrow at 7 p.m. God bless you. For the Culture. Thank you so much again.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
It's an honor.